Hi guys, welcome back to Balls Fan TV, and today we're back with another video of doing the match preview for tomorrow's game against Waterford at Mount Park. Back at home after a 0-0 draw against Drogheda on Friday night, a game where there wasn't much in it really. We had a couple of good chances, a couple of chances that we gave away, and we're slightly fortunate to come away with not conceding from. But yeah, look, it's a great chance now to get back to winning ways here against the team who are at the foot of the league. Still without a win. They're off the back of a pretty good result though against Shamrock Rovers on Friday. They were winning 1-0, but Graham Burke scored a penalty late in the game to make it 1-1 and prevent them from picking up their first win. But we seen in that game down at the RSC a few weeks ago that they can cause us problems. We were very dominant in the first half of that game and went in 1-0 up, but second half we were pegged back a little bit, and they caused us a few problems, and we had to really dig in to get the win, and they certainly did ask a few questions of us, but they are still a very good side despite their league position. I think they've got some really good players. We know Paul Jarman, a player who's a very clinical goal scorer in this league now for a couple of seasons, probably hasn't had the start that he would have wanted. He's probably, he's obviously getting on in age now and starting to slow down a bit, but there's still plenty of goals in him, no doubt about that. They've got a few other players going forward that I think are very good. They are quite poor at the back though. They have conceded a lot of goals this season, but on the other hand, we haven't been scoring much lately. We've only scored one goal in our last three games, without a win in those three games as well. So we are starting to have a slight wobble, but obviously we're still unbeaten, still in a good position, to potentially head back to the top of the table, depending on other results if we get the win here. So, yeah, that's really what matters is getting the 3 points, in a game like this. I know your home games are going to be really important to you this season if you want to be challengers. So these are the sort of games we have to win if we want to consider ourselves title contenders. Moving on to the team now, and obviously it's a quick turnaround from Friday. Another game in the space of 2 days. Could potentially see some changes, but look, we are just off the back of a couple of weeks break, so we shouldn't have too many tired legs. So I'd be keeping the same defence anyway, that's for sure. Casper, Power, Hickey, Todd, and Mullen. I think that's been our biggest strong point of the whole season so far. 7 clean sheets in 9 games. We've been absolutely brilliant back there, and yeah, when that defence is all fit and ready, you're not going to see changes there. Midfield, McDonald came in there on Friday and was playing a bit further forward. He started off deep, but later in the game he went a bit further forward, and to allow the void to sit a bit deeper and dictate things a bit more. So look, we know the void being there. I think it will be McDonald alongside him. You could see Diallo come in, maybe they think he's ready now to start a game. They might think he's up to the level of fitness that they want to see for him to start a game. I think he did pretty good when he came on. I thought he brought an element of calm into the midfield and was getting on the ball and looking to get it forward. So yeah, he could come in for his first start, but I think it's going to be Dawson and McDonald. Going further forward then, Saying Moores has been very good, but he's played a lot of football in the last few weeks, so maybe because he came in late as well, could they rest him potentially and bring in Parsons or Vaughan? We'll wait and see. I don't think Dale Rooney will be back for this one anyway, so chances are you're probably going to have Myers on the left or the right again, and potentially have Connor Parsons come in. I thought he made a decent impact when he came on anyway, so maybe he'll come in for this one. I suspect Tierney will stay as the 10, and then up front it's going to be Colin Whelan unless not Douglas James Taylor somehow reappears, after being missing now for the last few weeks. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, he was rated as 50-50 going into the Drogheda game, wasn't in the squad. We don't know what's going on there. Look, if he's any close to returning to fitness and being a part of a match day squad, let's hope he is. But there's no indication that that's coming anytime soon. So more than likely you're going to see Colin Whelan continue up there, and he has struggled the last few games. I think we can all see that. just with the fact that since his arrival, this is the longest he's gone, starting a consistent run of games, and it's probably starting to catch up to him. He is starting to look leggy, and I think it would really be beneficial for him to have someone up there alongside him. That's where Dougie would be perfect, but for as long as there's no sign of him returning, it's just going to continue to be Colin Whelan up front on his own. We spoke after the draw of the game how our problems in terms of going forward and creating chances is starting to kind of come back after we had a lot of that last season in games where we felt we were in control and dominant, but just weren't making a count. And the last few games, I think, has kind of proved that. The 3 draws in a row, the game in Talca Park, where I think we were fairly dominant for most of the game, but never really looked like scoring. The Dundalk game, where we were very disappointed and probably very lucky not to lose the game, and then Friday, where we had our chances. But again, even as we pushed on in the final few stages, we never really looked like we were going to score. So that's something that we obviously have to correct. We've got 2 home games now, tomorrow against Waterford and then Sligo on Friday. The 2 teams that make up the bottom 2, it's really, really important that you get 6 points from those games, because the run of games we have after that is very tough. We go to Tala, then I think we play Shells and Derry. Those are some of the games to come. So you'd want to be getting 6 points from these 2 before that run. It's really important that we start to control and dominate games the way we did in the games before the last couple of weeks. The Rovers game, where we were really, really dominant and won in fairly comfortable fashion despite the scoreline may have suggested. And we had other games as well where we were really, really putting teams at the sword, and just in the last few weeks it started to get a bit more scrappy. We're in games that we've won, we were kind of scrapping and making goals from set pieces, like the Waterford game in the RSC and Galway and Dalymount a few weeks back. So it would be nice to see us come out here and put in a very comfortable performance and win in a convincing way. But look, it's not going to be that easy. Waterford will have their tails up after a good result, and from what I heard, a very positive performance as well. So you have to feel like eventually the penny's going to drop for them and they'll get their first win. Hopefully it's not tomorrow, but they're certainly not far away, I feel, with recent performances. So I'm going to go with a win. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. I fancy us to get back to winning ways here. We really have to, of course. We don't want to find ourselves slumping into any sort of negative mindset after such a good start. And these sort of games, your home games against teams, in the position of Waterford, that they have to be, wins. And anything less would just be very disappointing. So I do fancy us to get back to winning ways and win 2-1. And hopefully, the results go our way and we'll find ourselves back at the top of the table, then heading into another home game against Sligo. So that's where I'll end it. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment down below your thoughts on the game. I hope you all have a good Easter, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.